Welcome to Deep Dive. Today, we're diving into a dream many of us secretly harbor. The idea of leaving everything behind to travel the world. It's a vision often painted in those stunning, aspirational social media posts, the ones. But what does it really take to make that leap from fantasy to reality?
It's so easy to get swept up in those perfect images, isn't it? What we've gathered are insights from individuals who have genuinely made this transition. They offer a remarkably candid and sometimes gritty look at the practicalities, the profound mindset shifts, and all those unseen challenges involved. It's a far cry from a curated Instagram feed.
Absolutely. Our mission today is to unpack these truly lived experiences. We want to distinguish that glossy influencer narrative from the grounded, often surprising reality and help you understand what genuinely goes into turning this ambitious dream into a sustainable lifestyle. So if you've ever imagined trading your desk for distant horizons, or even just wondered how anyone actually pulls it off, you are absolutely in the right place.
Let's really dig in. So when we started digging into these traveler stories, what was the very first myth that just got shattered for them? It feels like there's this huge disconnect between the romantic ideal of world travel and what you see online.
Yeah, it really does. And what's truly fascinating is how directly these experiences challenge that influencer versus reality narrative. Many online personalities, while seemingly living this idyllic dream, often have significant financial backing from family, or maybe they've amassed substantial personal savings.
Right. Or they're making money from the traveling itself. Exactly. Some even generate income by teaching others how to make money on the very platforms they use, which, can create a somewhat circular, almost meta business model. This raises a crucial question for the average person. If you're not already a millionaire or an influencer with a massive built-in audience, is this lifestyle truly within reach?
And the resounding answer from the people who are actually doing it is a clear
yes. One traveler shared that they've been on the road for 6 or 7 years without being rich, simply by creating their own income streams along the way to keep exploring and immersing themselves in new cultures.
which is amazing, really.
It is. But here's the kicker, and it's a common mistake they caution against. Don't immediately envision paradisiacal far-off destinations like New York, Paris, or Thailand, especially if you're starting from scratch without a massive savings account. It's like trying to eat an entire elephant in one bite. It's completely overwhelming and often paralyzing. That elephant analogy is perfect. What truly shifts the paradigm for these seasoned travelers is understanding that global exploration isn't about making one single grand leap. It's about an entirely different approach. As one veteran traveler so aptly put it, you need to make elephant soup and eat it spoonful by spoonful.
Spoonful by spoonful. I like that.
Yeah. The real insight here isn't just to start small. It's to fundamentally reframe, leaving everything from a single overwhelming event into a sustainable, iterative, almost day-by-day lifestyle. It's about building momentum, not, launching yourself off a cliff.
Okay, so making elephant soup. I love that analogy. So what does that actually look like for someone just starting out? Instead of aiming for, say, Europe or Thailand directly, where job offers might be limited due to visa restrictions or specific skill requirements, the advice is surprisingly grounded. Start with a different city or even a different province in your own country. That feels so much more achievable.
It does, doesn't it? And it's a genius move for building your foundation. This approach allows you to begin building a vital network. You might wonder, how exactly do you build that network from scratch in a new place, even if it's still domestic?
Yeah, how?
Well, one highly effective strategy is to volunteer, perhaps at a local hostel or a community project in your chosen new city, while also taking on an extra part-time job to cover your basic expenses. This dual approach helps you meet people from all walks of life, including other travelers from different countries. You start learning new languages organically through immersion, and you gradually, almost effortlessly, expand your social circle. These connections become incredibly invaluable down the line.
It sounds almost like a slow burn domino effect, building out your own personal global human network. One traveler story perfectly illustrates this. They went from working as a juggler on street corners in Cordoba, Argentina, imagine that, trading their art for a free hostel bed, to eventually working in the Maldives, which is arguably one of the most idyllic and sought-after places imaginable. This incredible transformation from juggling on a street to postcard-perfect islands was possible because they met German friends and their partner at that initial hostel in Argentina.
Ah, the connections.
Exactly. Those early connections opened up a cascade of unexpected doors. Now they're even living and working in Germany, all thanks to those initial, seemingly small, brave connections. This ever-growing network can lead to surprising opportunities. finding free lodging with friends in different countries, or even directly securing work. It's about taking those incremental steps, trusting the process, and gradually expanding your web of human connections and possibilities. It truly reframes what achievable means for the average person, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. It's less about a grand plan and more about adaptability and human connection. And that naturally leads us to a really crucial question these experienced travelers urged us to ask themselves before taking any leap. What does leaving everything truly mean to you?
Good question. Yeah.
Is it your job, your family, your safe home, a relationship, or even deeply ingrained long-term life plans? Understanding that distinction and being honest about it is absolutely key.
That's a critical distinction because when you dig into it, it's vital to differentiate between purpose-driven travel and using travel as an escape.
Yeah.
Leaving a job you no longer enjoy because it's draining your soul is one thing. Distancing yourself from loved ones or significant unresolved responsibilities is quite another. Travel can be one of the most transformative decisions you ever make, particularly if you're genuinely seeking personal growth, expanding your worldview, evolving as a person, or if you simply don't have significant commitments tying you down. It's an embrace of change and intentional movement towards something.
Right. But it quickly veers into dangerous territory, becoming an escape if you're trying to avoid an internal or emotional problem that you haven't truly dealt with, or if you simply believe travel will magically solve all your issues. It won't. The profound core reflection here is this. You don't need to have every single detail perfectly clear before you start, but you do need to be fundamentally clear about why you are starting. Are you moving towards something new and meaningful, or are you running from something that you haven't faced yet? The distinction dramatically impacts your experience on the road.
So once you're clear on your why, the next logical step is the how. This is where we get into the nuts and bolts of preparing for a nomadic life, drawing on the incredibly practical experience of someone who left a high-pressure corporate job to pursue full-time travel. It's less about impulsive adventure and much, much more about careful, strategic planning.
Exactly. And what's truly insightful here are the detailed considerations that can ultimately make or break this transition. First, you really need to decide. Is this going to be a temporary sabbatical, maybe a year or two? Or are you envisioning a permanent shift away from the traditional corporate world?
Big difference.
Huge difference. A permanent change, as you can imagine, requires far more rigorous preparation and is significantly harder to reverse if you change your mind down the line. It's a commitment that demands foresight, both financially and emotionally.
And secondly, after that initial decision, you have to be brutally honest and ask yourself, are you even suited for long-term travel? It's not all golden sunrises and idyllic moments, despite what social media might suggest. Seasoned travelers candidly share the dark side of the coin. Intense loneliness, that aching feeling of missing family and friends, eating questionable food in unfamiliar places, the sheer draining exhaustion from constant movement, navigating new languages, and the unpredictable nature of travel logistics.
The grind.
Yeah, the grind. It's crucial to ask yourself if the enriching experiences and profound personal growth truly compensate for these very real, often challenging downsides. Are you genuinely prepared for that trade-off?
That's a crucial point, and it directly leads to the next practical consideration. How will you actually sustain yourself financially? It is almost universally advised that it's not a good idea to quit your job without a very clear objective for income generation.
Right. Winging it financially is probably not the best plan.
Definitely not. Ideas for making money don't just magically appear while you're admiring a sunset in Cambodia. They require significant mental effort, planning, and often prior work. Successful options include teaching languages online, working on a cruise ship, or maybe freelancing remotely through platforms designed for digital services. For example, one traveler started meticulously building their travel blog, dedicating 6 to 8 months to it before leaving their corporate job.
Smart. Laying the groundwork.
It's very smart. They officially launched it just 2 days after their resignation. Being prepared and organized from day one is absolutely crucial because generating consistent income while constantly traveling can be significantly harder and more demanding than doing so from a stable home base.
And on that note, let's talk money and overall strategy, because your chosen route dramatically influences your budget. Traveling through places like Laos, Kyrgyzstan, or Ethiopia can be far, far cheaper than traversing Europe or Australia.
Oh, massively cheaper.
Yeah, so it's absolutely vital to calculate a preliminary budget that accounts for everything. Flights, visas, comprehensive travel insurance, and a robust emergency fund for unforeseen expenses. You always need a buffer. One traveler, for instance, managed to save enough to last 20 months without any income thanks to a high-paying job in Dubai and adopting a very frugal backpacker travel style.
That takes discipline.
It does. And it's also important to realistically estimate when you'll actually start generating income, as monetizing a blog, for example, can take at least 18 months, even if you do everything right. So it's a long game, not a quick sprint.
Absolutely. It requires patience. But when we connect all this to the bigger picture, the journey of global exploration offers profound and undeniable advantages. It relentlessly forces you out of your comfort zone, pushing you to develop crucial problem-solving skills, incredible adaptability, and deep self-confidence.
Things you might not develop otherwise.
Exactly. You gain a significantly broader perspective on the world, becoming more tolerant and empathetic by experiencing vastly different cultures, lifestyles, and ways of thinking firsthand. You can learn new languages through immersion and, most importantly, create unforgettable memories and stories that truly enrich your life forever. It's a transformative experience unlike any other.
But, as we've definitely covered, it's not without its distinct challenges. Financial uncertainty is a constant companion. There's the stress of constant cultural adaptation, the practicalities of visas and borders, and even the often overlooked difficulty of reintegrating into normal life upon return.
That reverse culture shock is real.
It really is. These are all very real considerations that can impact you emotionally and mentally. It's not just a physical journey, but a profound internal one, testing your resilience in ways you might not expect.
Which brings us back to the listener. This raises an important question for you, our listener. Given all this information, the allure, the reality checks, the practical strategies, the profound benefits, and the very real challenges, is living a nomadic life something you're truly prepared for right now?
Yeah, a moment for honest reflection.
Take a moment to reflect on your deepest motivations. Honestly evaluate your personal situation and financial readiness, and if you feel genuinely ready and excited for it, then take that leap. It might just be the most rewarding decision you ever make.
Because ultimately, there's no single right or wrong answer when it comes to a life-altering decision like this. The choice to embark on this journey is deeply, deeply personal. If the idea of leaving everything feels overwhelming right now, consider alternatives that still offer exploration and growth. Taking shorter, more focused trips, or perhaps exploring remote work options that allow you to combine work with travel in a more gradual, less intense way.
Good point. It doesn't have to be all or nothing.
Exactly. Just remember, the decision should always come from a place of genuine desire for personal evolution, a place of love for life and learning, not from fear or a sense of desperation to escape something unpleasant.
Well said. It's clear that living a life of travel, while undoubtedly demanding, is absolutely possible for many, many people. But it truly demands self-awareness, diligent preparation, and a willingness to take intentional, small, incremental steps. Like making that elephant soup.
Yeah. Exactly. And here's a final thought for you to chew on. Is it truly more difficult to live traveling the world than to live in your own city? Think about it. You'll have to become financially independent either way, whether you're settling down or setting off. So ask yourself, are you willing to pay the price of fulfilling your dreams or the cost of living a life you didn't choose? Thank you so much for listening. We look forward to our next episode.